Comedy at the Carlson proudly welcomes the hilarious Jeffer Curry this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights.
I want to open up by saying I actually just went through a breakup. Me and my girlfriend broke up because she was cheating on me, and I didn't want her to do that. But the good news is me and my mom are back together, so thank you. Yeah, I say that because my mom called me every day after the breakup with a different mom quote. You know them. Every day with, everything happens for a reason. Time heals all wounds. And eventually she started running out, and I could tell. Because after 2 weeks, she was like, dance like no one's watching. That does not pertain to me at all, Mom. Are you just walking around at Michael's reading stuff out loud?
You've seen Jeff on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and Comedy Central's Roast Battles. Now catch him live at Comedy at the Carlson this Thursday, June 13th at 7:30, Friday the 14th, and Saturday the 15th. There are 2 shows both nights, 7 and 9 p.m. Lock those tickets down now, my friends, at carlsoncomedy.com for a night of laughs with Jeffer Curry at Comedy at the Carlson.
The Wings are home this week to face the Yankees. Tuesday is Napoleon Dynamite Night with an appearance by Pedro. Wednesday is a business person special at 105. Thursday is Beach Night, featuring a Plates Hawaiian shirt giveaway. For tickets, visit redwingsbaseball.com.
Life can throw some serious curveballs, especially when it comes to family issues. If your world feels like it's standing still, Circu and Circu is here to help you get back on track. Facing a divorce, child custody battle, or any other family law matter, you'll want a caring attorney guiding you through these sensitive situations, and that's exactly what you get at Circu Law. Family law issues can be like walking a tightrope, nerve-wracking and emotional, but the highly experienced and compassionate attorneys at Circu in Pittsford are ready to help you find your balance. Whether you're considering divorce, dividing assets, dealing with custody issues, or any other family-related legal matter, you can trust Circu's professionalism and expertise. They work tirelessly each day for the betterment of you and your family. So take a deep breath, step off that tightrope, and call Circu today at 585-385-2510. You may also email them in complete confidence through their website's contact page at circulaw.com. Circu, helping your family get back to what matters most. Well, in this episode, our friend and comedian Greg Owens, who will be headlining our comedy Caravan at Remedy inside Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack on June 20th. Hope to see you there. He joins, and he's a dad. I'm a dad. We talk a little Father's Day.
3 years ago, the kids all chipped in together, and they brought me a gift basket for Father's Day, which at first glance, it had a box of Cheerios and a thing of Oreos, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And then as I looked deeper, it was loaded with Eddies and pre-rolls, and they like hooked me up with a nice little weed gift and the munchie and the shit to take care of the munchies to go with it.
Joey Chestnut is out of the 4th of July Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest, and it's all because he has a deal to represent Impossible Foods. We talked to our friend Sam from Project Lean Nation about these Impossible Foods.
No, you ingest too much of it and men can grow tits.
And a lady I've been wanting to talk to for a while, Danielle from Openly Committed.
Our lives are so deeply entangled that when I get to go on a date with another guy, there's none of that. We're talking about books and movies and trips and travels. I mean, it is a mental vacation.
All that and more coming up right after this. Rose City Drive-In could be a really cool thing to do with Dad Father's Day weekend. That's right. The drive-in is back in Newark, Rose City Drive-In, and they've got first-run movies. And they have great first-run movies. This weekend, Bad Boys and Inside Out. That's right. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence team up again for Bad Boys, and then the hilarious Inside Out. It's a great double feature. It's at Rose City Drive-In. You can find out more at rosecitydrivein.com. Right there in Newark. A little throwback, a little fun, something different with Dad at Rose City Drive-In for Father's Day weekend.
When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Thanks for getting your pod on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. And thank you for patronizing all our great sponsors like Leo's Bakery and Deli in East Rochester. I was over there today. Saw Patrick Bernunzio. It was nice. I'm going to put the camera on you, Greg, but nothing's working right. So earlier, I don't know what happened. I've had a day where I've wrestled. It's like been an alligator wrestle with technology all day.
Nice.
All my shit was filling up, so I spent most of the day deleting videos and trying to move stuff to Google Drive, and then it's not moving to Google Drive. Now I'm deleting things. I have no idea what's going on. Then it's not freeing up much space, so there's you got 64 gigs available on here. I'm at 62.39, but I've taken everything off this fucking thing. I was ready to launch it right out the goddamn window. Then earlier today, I had an interview, which I will drop into this podcast later on, with a woman who's openly committed. And you and I are going to talk about openly committed in a little bit. But
I don't even know what that means. Openly committed
means you're married, but you get to fuck other people.
Interesting.
Yes,
okay.
It's like not exactly swingerish, but you go on dates.
Do your thing.
And there is something that this woman says that I think is fascinating, and I think that if your wife, how long have you been married?
We're going on 30 years.
Okay.
This year.
30 years.
I think that'll be our 30th wedding anniversary. We'll investigate
openly committed. So openly committed will be you going to the hospital. You'll be admitted. So she. But here's the thing that she said was, whenever she and her husband go on dates, it's always about they have kids that are 10 and 7 or something like that. She goes, we're talking about their college funds, their sports activities, what other projects are coming up at the house, vacation. It becomes almost like a business meeting, which I've been married. Yes, it does. Exactly. And you can probably, right.
Yeah.
That's when you're out on just let's say your date night. Do you and your wife, or did you and your wife have a date night ever?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's exactly right. You talk about all the shit you can't talk about in front of the kids.
In front of the kids, but it becomes a lot of stuff that has to do with what's going on in life. What she said is, when I get to go on a date, I thought this was interesting. She goes, I don't have to be mom. I'm not talking about things that are kind of pertinent to that or may have some anxiety attached to them, and how are we going to pay for this? What are we going to do? She goes, I get to go out on a date. I get to talk about books I've read or movies or things that interest me, and I get to be kind of the hot version of myself. And I went, oh yeah, I bet you every fucking woman that hears that is going to agree. Don't you think, in a way?
Yeah, to an extent.
To an extent. I mean, it just, you
get that, what do you call it? That feel, the butterflies on the initial hookup and shit like that.
So it becomes one of the
swearing.
Why? You can swear. You're perfectly fine. So the thing is that, to me, and you'll know this, that I think after a while, I'm actually going to just stop this because it's not even recording. So anyway, I tried to do this interview, and I tried to get the video through. I've never done a Google Hangout or a Google Meetup, I guess what it's called. So it's like Zoom.
Yep.
So I did it through the computer, but I was trying to do it through these cameras. Whatever I did, now it's not recording to the iPad.
Man.
It's all that stuff. And this is great because I spent a number of years in radio, 3 decades. And I had a friend call me the other day and go, hey, man, I've been checking out the podcast. I really like it. How great is that? You get to say what you want. You can talk to who you want to. I heard you even say, you love having the rotating people around the table with you. And some days they're a little more serious. Sometimes you do one-on-ones. And I go, yeah. And they're like, it's got to be awesome. I go, it's fucking awesome until something breaks because everything's on you. Everything comes out of your pocket. Everything's on your ass. You want to be the boss? Hey, have at it. Here it is.
This is it, man. This is life on your rules.
Right.
Man.
This is life on your rules. Speaking of that, June 20th.
Yeah.
That's a Thursday. It'll be Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack at Remedy from 7 to 9. It'll be myself, Dougie Fresh, and headlining will be Greg Owens.
Woo!
I'm excited for this.
It's going to be a great show,
I think it's going to be a really good show. Because I was thinking, Doug's always like, have you seen Doug? Doug sent me a video of him practicing in his home.
Oh, yeah?
Where he actually plays the intro music. So he was doing your show.
Okay.
So he sent me his practice video of getting ready for your show. And he actually played the intro music like they do at the club. And so he had the Guns N' Roses thing, and he does the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. And then as he gets up there, he looks down, and there's some piece of laundry on the floor, so he flips that over his shoulder. I couldn't fucking stop laughing. But he goes full on to do that. When you're getting ready for a show, do you do a full on? And I may have asked you this already. Forgive me if I'm repeating myself.
Yeah, not that detailed. I just run the lines in my head.
Yeah.
Talk to myself. I'd be sitting in a chair doing it. Sometimes I get up and move around to practice my stage movements a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't do a lot of moving around on the stage. But so yeah, I just kind of run it through,
Yeah.
just rehearse.
I always think that the one thing that I've learned over the years is just being natural.
Right.
Which is not always easy, on stage. But if you're at ease, the audience is at ease.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you come in a little tight, they're going to be a little tight. They almost mirror back.
They'll pick up on it
on some of the stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and I think what they pick up on is that if you're that way, then they think you're probably not going to be as good as they would like you to be.
Exactly.
And so they're not going to be on board with you, and they're not going to laugh.
No,
as
and
much.
a tight audience isn't fun. You want loose. That's why I always think like a good MC just kind of isn't necessarily doing a ton of material. They're just working that. They're almost massaging the crowd into, hey, tonight's a night that you're on a date.
Exactly.
That bitch across from you, fellas, you don't know her.
Right.
You're trying to get in her pants.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
But that would be the thing. You have kids, correct?
Yeah, they're all grown up now. But 4 kids. Yeah.
You have 4 kids?
Tell me about it.
Holy shit! I had 3. My youngest is 14, but lives with his mom. But my older guys are in their early 20s.
Okay.
But you have 4.
Yep.
Father's Day's coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you look forward to this? Is there anything you like? Was it ever a big deal to you?
Nah, it's never a real big deal.
No.
I think the best one in recent history was about 3 years ago. The kids all chipped in together, and they brought me a gift basket for Father's Day, which at first glance, it had a box of Cheerios and a thing of Oreos, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And then as I looked deeper, it was loaded with Eddies and pre-rolls, and they hooked me up with a nice little weed gift and the munchie and the shit to take care of the munchies to go with it, which I thought was freaking hysterical.
That is really funny.
Yeah.
That is really. How old are the guys or the kids?
Youngest is 22.
Okay.
So yeah, they're old enough.
Old enough.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So
with the legalization of weed and bringing kids up, did they know? Did you smoke when they were?
No, not
you didn't.
I basically gave up smoking, by the time I turned 30.
Yeah,
which is about when we started having kids, and really never dabbled in it until just a little bit in the last couple of years, and really it fucking wipes me out, dude.
Well,
it does me in.
I always feel like now you almost need a restrictor plate on some of this weed, and they got these fucking wild names like Panama Red and
I don't even know
Blue Jack Green. I don't know, something. Have you gone into a dispensary? I have not gone into a dispensary. People
Not
have
here.
given me gummies and things, but I have not. I've not been to one anywhere.
I went to one in L.A. when we were out visiting our daughter a couple of years ago, and it was interesting, man, because there was a security guard outside the shopping mall. You had to check in with him, show your ID. Then you go in, and the door to the place is locked, and they got other security guys standing outside the place. And then they scan your ID, and you got to give them
You feel like you're going into a porn shop.
Yeah, right.
You remember like a seedy bookstore. That's what it was like. I was like,
yeah, you got to go in and see the throw a quarter in the slot and all that. But then we went into place, and it was really nice. I mean, it was really great display table with you could smell the different weeds, and different flowers or whatever they call them nowadays, and just displays all over the place. And then this kid comes to help us out, and we're like, dude, we've been out of the game for 30 years. We just want to get a couple souvenirs for our druggy kids.
Man, what a parting gift! Now there's a whole housewarming gift that most people would like. Yeah, usually because
my kids aren't druggies. Let's clear that one up.
I grew up in such a alcohol focused family.
Yeah,
I guess that would be. I mean, if you're going to talk about drugs, I don't think my parents did any weed, and I grew up near Woodstock, so there were a lot of people who did. I mean, I remember smoking a joint with somebody's mom at the high school graduation party. But that wasn't my parents. They weren't, but booze, big time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Irish people.
Irish people, right. And that was the big deal. So then my mother is 76. So when she was 75, she went to visit my brother in Maine, and they went to somebody's house, and somebody whipped out a bunch of gummies. And they're like, hey, try this. And so my mom pops one in her mouth, and my brother calls me later and goes, hey, watch this. And she's just laughing her ass off, had a great time. So, of course, everybody finds out, right, that she did this, everybody being my dad. Now, they were married for like 35 years and then separated. So my father has been on this kick. He's 78. I want to try one of those gummy bears. I really want to try those gummy bears. And I'm going, yeah, you're 78 and you live alone. Just wait till someone's around. Yeah, because I don't know. Who knows? Exactly. I'm not saying that you can't handle it, but I don't want you to try to handle it.
It's a tricky drug for an old dude.
I think it is. Even at 5 milligrams, I think it is. I mean, unless you're Willie Nelson or Keith Richards, fucking back off a little bit. So he says to me just recently, he goes, hey, I made a purchase that I'll never use. And I go, okay.
He went and did it.
Yeah. So I go, what is this? He told me that he went to a dispensary, and he described it much like you, and he lives in Jersey, going through double security, all this stuff. He kind of felt almost like a criminal, or he didn't know what was happening. And he goes, so I bought some gummies. I haven't had any, but and I understand this, and it must be something that I don't know if it's a learned or an inherent thing, but I'm going to go with inherent, because it was always like, I don't need to do it. I just need to know I can. You know what I mean? That's what my old man said. He goes, I don't care that I don't need to do it. I just like knowing that I can do it, that I can go buy it. But I would love to see my old man stoned before just because he's so funny. Now, I've learned the difference, and I didn't even know this growing up. I just remember getting high and laughing a lot. But it was usually it was probably some dirt shit that somebody. I had a buddy who used to grow
and twigs.
Yes, you're right. But I had a buddy who grew pot in between the corn stalks of a local farmer's field. For real. And Stephen Dam and I think it was him. They had, because I grew up in a very rural part of the state. And, downstate, it was they didn't care as much, pot brownies, eating. I had a teacher tell us about if you're going to smoke it through a water bong, because the joint gets so hot, the heat could melt the rosin on a roach clip. So he's like, you don't want that heat in your lungs. So do that or eat it. Well, edibles weren't what they are now. Nah. And I do enjoy edibles. And I was telling you, because you came in and a friend of mine was on the phone, and I said I happened to be down at their lake house, and I passed out in some spread because I was drunk and high. Yeah. And just, I call that Saturday.
It happens.
It happens when you're 18, 19, 20, not 52. It just shouldn't be happening. At least not as often. Right. You're waking up in strange places. Not a good sign.
I got to plan it. I'm going to do an Eddie. I got to plan the day around it.
Yeah. Do you have a milligram that you like? Like dosage?
Well, I got these 10 milligram things.
I always cut those in half because I'm a pussy.
They hit pretty good.
Yeah.
I like them. But my one son gave my wife for Mother's Day. This sounds like a great family. He gave her these things.
Sounds like an awesome family. I want to hang out.
5 milligram ones.
Yeah.
And one of them could get you going pretty good.
Yeah.
Last year at the Music Fest, I had one before we got down here, and I gave one to my wife. I put it in a Ziploc bag and stuck it in her purse. I said, hold on to that. And
you came to the Fairport Music Fest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, if I ask you for it, then you give it to me then. So then I got the 5 milligrams in me, and I'm like halfway through the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is like
nothing.
So
really,
I asked her for the other one, and I ate it, and literally like a minute later, I was like, you know what? I didn't need that second one.
Well, it takes a while. Like the edible, I always say, give it 2 hours at least the first one, and then you'll go. And I've learned, so even growing up around weed, I never knew indica and sativa. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, right.
The sativa is the one that makes you laugh. Indica, I remember having a guy from MJ's, which is a dispensary in Henrietta. I think it was the first one to open in Monroe County. He goes, indica's into couch.
Indica,
You're right.
right.
Where you're
That's
just
what
like
bells you
out,
out.
right?
Yeah.
You're just done for that. So Father's Day maybe again? Maybe this time you get a plan? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see.
A gift card of some kind?
Yeah, right.
That was always the thing. I used to love when the kids were little because you get all their arts and crafts and shit. And then as everybody got older, I don't know. This year, I feel a little bad because I'm going to go see the Stones in Cleveland with my brother.
Oh, nice. On Father's Day.
On Father's Day
Yeah.
weekend. It's the 15th. So he's flying in, and he's got 2 little kids. And he's like, yeah. So his wife's like, oh, good. That way I don't have to plan anything for Father's Day. So you get a day off.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right.
So that'll be the that'll be the big thing. I guess a gift card is the number one things dad want, according to a survey of 1,000 dads. Something food or drink related. Mm-hmm. Right? So I guess beer.
Gift card.
Gift card's number one.
Oh, and then
something food or drink related.
Yeah,
Clothing or shoes. I don't want anybody buying me that
I don't
shit.
need that.
You're gonna get
I
me
don't need
the
anything
dad
anyway.
grilling shoes.
Right.
Electronics. I could see tickets to a concert or sporting event. Actually, one of my sons got me tickets one year.
Good idea.
Sporting goods. Do you golf or anything?
I want to start it up again. I used to, and I got out of it, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't golf.
Were you good at
lessons.
it? I suck.
I
fucking suck.
probably sucked, but I thought I was good, but I probably sucked. You know what I mean? Like, I think I actually broke 40 on 9 holes one time.
Oh, that's pretty good,
In a
actually.
fucking zone.
Yeah.
That was just an anomaly. You know what I mean? That would never happen again. Never did happen again. But and then I haven't been playing much. Played a couple years ago, and then a couple years before that. And
Yeah.
Last time it was just a disaster.
Yeah.
But I'd like to take it up again. Get a lesson maybe.
Well, there you go. There's a good thing for Father's Day. Put that word out there.
Yeah.
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 There's some good places to take lessons. Books or music, anything that would appeal to you?
Nah.
What do you listen to?
So we're not big on gifts just for gifts. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
our family. But
Yeah, unless it's weed.
unless it's a nice basket.
Unless it's a big old bag of weed and Oreo cookies. And I'll tell you what, I can't think of a better stack when you're getting the munchies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
God damn, you put the fucking weight on. That puts the weight on quick,
yeah.
those Oreos.
Yep.
You got a favorite? How about the Oreo blonde? Do you ever have those?
No, I'm just a straight
Just
Oreo
straight
dude.
Oreo
Yep,
guy.
Yep.
Books or music? If I looked at you, I would go, if you said to me, I like the Dead, I'd go, yeah, I get it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, what is it? Am I right? Allman Brothers?
Yeah,
Dead?
class. Nah, not so much. I don't like the Dead that much.
You don't?
I like Little Feet way better
Yeah,
than
yeah.
Dead. And
Go a little more upbeat.
yeah, right. And Stones. I love the Stones.
Yeah, I do too.
Led Zeppelin's my all-time favorite. So classic
Zeppelin.
rock.
Okay, classic rock.
Allman Brothers, love
Yeah.
them.
Books? If somebody were to give you a book.
I can't stay awake for more than one page anymore. Legit. I just read a book and fall asleep, man. I would like to read.
Stop fucking the edibles before you read. Jesus.
I would love to read more, man. I just
Really?
Yeah, but
You fall asleep, like in the middle of the day, let's say it's 2:00 in the afternoon, you whip out a book. Nice sunny day, you're sitting out, your wife's gone out, you got the house to yourself, you kick back, you got some Zeppelin cranking, it's windows are rocking, you're sitting out back, you go, you know what, I'm going to read. Do you cigar? Oh, why?
Nah,
no?
not really. Not
All
that
right.
I'm not against it. I just
Yeah. I don't either. Scotch, though, you sit back.
Yeah, more just a beer.
All right, have a beer. You got your book,
right.
and you think
And
you're out
chilling out.
at 2:00 in the afternoon?
Yeah, after a couple pages.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That-
it is something that can, like, you just mellow
And
out.
it's not that it bores me. or
No,
anything.
it's not. It's just
I
that-
don't know, man. Just
Yeah.
totally relaxed and focused in on something.
Yeah.
It's like when you wake up in the middle of the night, they say to get back to sleep, you just got to get yourself comfortable, take some deep breaths, and concentrate on one thing. Just focus in on it. That's something that mellows you out, and
Yeah.
then you'll go back to sleep quick. But I can't do that.
I can't do that
The
either.
brain's going a million
A
different
million different ways. Yeah. I've been, I think, because I had 2 weekends in a row that I was just acting like I was 30 years younger than I am. I was in bed by 7:59 Saturday night.
Oh, man.
But I read till like 11 o'clock. I did read, and then I was like, I gotta go. So I usually take like a magnesium glycinate type thing to help you sleep, but I'm out of it. So I took an Advil PM. And man, the next day it was like waking up with a hangover. I go, what the fuck is going on? I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate this getting older shit. Jewelry? Yeah,
Nothing.
I have nothing.
A smartwatch. That's
Yeah,
it.
I don't even have a watch. No rings anymore because I'm not married.
That thing. That's
I've got no. I'm very boring. Very, very boring. All right.
I don't think. I think it's just whatever. I'm not boring.
Yeah, I think it is whatever as well. We'll take a moment. There's a little controversy in the world of the hot dog eating contest. Nathan's hot dog. Did you see this?
Just saw that.
Yeah, and I think that. Well, we'll get into it. I'm going to call somebody who has a little more nutritional knowledge. They own a Lean Nation franchise in Canandaigua, and she'll be able to tell us a little bit more about these impossible meats, which I'm not sold on. I'm not. Okay, good. We're of one mind on this. Yeah. We'll be of one mind on this. All right, we will take a moment. But first, BTB Woodfire Pizza and Grill in the Mall at Grease Ridge is the perfect spot to catch all the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup action. With over 50 TVs, you're not going to miss a second of the excitement. And while you're there, treat yourself to the mouth-watering salt and pepper wings, this month's special. That pairs pretty damn well with the draft of the month, Jenny Mango Peach. You're craving something heartier? Dive into the irresistible Philly mac and cheese. Now, I want you to imagine this. Shaved steak, mushrooms, onions, and peppers, all smothered in creamy goodness, served with your choice of soup or salad. It's one of the best dishes you'll enjoy at BTB. Trust me, I devoured this. It is so good. Plus, you have to try the pizza of the month, the barbecue chicken pizza featuring BTB's secret wing barbecue sauce. Everything bagel seasoning, mozzarella, grilled chicken, and bacon. It's a flavor explosion. You don't want to miss this. Remember, the Cozy Patio is now open. Relax with a drink at the bar, gather around the fire pits, and unwind in style. BTB Woodfire Pizza and Grill in the Mall at Grease Ridge, your ultimate destination for sports, great food, and good times. It's BTB Woodfire Pizza and Grill. Connors and Ferris, because when life throws you a curveball, you need a team that can knock it out of the park. At Connors and Ferris, they're more than just a law firm. They're your trusted partners in navigating workers' compensation, Social Security disability, and personal injury claims. Connors and Ferris have offices in New York City, Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo, and are dedicated to providing personalized, compassionate legal support. With decades of experience, their skilled attorneys are there to guide you every step of the way, making the complex legal process simple and stress-free. Give them a call today at 262-COMP. That's 262-COMP. They'll strive to secure the benefits and compensation you deserve. 262-COMP for Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys. One of my favorite albums of all time, Exile on Main Street from the Stones. And I can't believe they're 80 years old and still playing stadiums. Isn't that fucking wild?
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It really is.
He's in better shape than me.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but I have no idea. I'm so frustrated over here. I apologize. Because now I'm able to record the videos and the sound looks like it's coming through, but I can't get us to go live on any of the platforms, and I don't know why. And it was whatever I tried to do earlier today to tape this Google interview with this woman who, by the way, I just have to say this. We're going to have Danielle from Openly Committed on, and she is, if you look at her, she's like the all-American girl. She just has that all-American look.
Yep.
Red hair, green eyes, but, just not really pretty. And I swear to God, if somebody goes, hey, man, they're openly committed, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. There's no way. There's no way. Because I'm thinking like, oh, I know people. And you're right. Guys talk and somebody will go, hey, man, they swing and you go, I can see it. Right?
Yeah,
I can see it. And I remember somebody saying to me recently, someone I know, And this woman came in and she had her lips injected and she's a little older and she's got something, the cleavage that looks,
Fixing herself
oh
up.
God, the cleavage is as big as the fucking canal out here. And it's like, and I go, oh yeah, I see it. I see it. I can see what's happening here. There's a whole lot of advertising going on for,
Exactly.
what I mean? Whole bunch of stuff. Not this woman, not the way it is. So an interesting thing has come about with the Nathan's hot dog eating contest July 4th. Joey Chestnut has won this every year since 2016. I don't know how many years total he's won, but I know since 2016 he's been the winner. He set the world record at 76 hot dogs in whatever the amount of time is that they do it.
Right.
And he's become the name synonymous with this. So they offered him $200,000, I think, last year to come. And then this year they were offering him like a multi-year contract at $1.2 million from the National Eating Association. I don't even know what it is.
That's a whole sports league.
It is a whole sports league. You're right. It is. It's a whole sports league. And he's really kind of the Iron Man of that league, right? Winning that contest. And I wouldn't know Joey Chestnut if it wasn't for the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I don't pay attention to any of these eating things because it was always on the 4th of July. And over the years, it built up momentum. And just like anything, when somebody's a repeat champion, you want to see who's going to try to knock them off, or do you cheer the champ on, or whatever's happening. So Joey has since joined forces with, I think, Impossible Dogs.
Huh.
So it's like the Impossible Burger.
Yeah.
But since he's sporting another brand and it's Nathan's, and Nathan's pays for this, and you got to wear a Nathan's shirt and you're supposed to eat the Nathan's dog. They were trying to meet all his demands, but they won't do this. And they're like, you can't be in our contest if you're going to be, and he's going to, it's almost like, I remember, who was the comic? Cedric the Entertainer did a gig for Michael Jordan once. And he came out in an Adidas sweatsuit and didn't even realize it. And he goes, all of a sudden, Jordan's screaming at him from the audience, Yeah. And he goes, at first I thought it was a joke, but he was pretty serious because word got back to me backstage. And he goes, somebody gave me like a Nike thing, and I put that on when I went back out.
Right.
And he's like, so you get people's, look, that you kind of get, right? Oh, he built a brand. Jordan really built Nike, especially if you watch that Netflix show. I can't say the same for Nathan's with him, but if they're paying you, well, so he's now in bed with this other company, and I don't know how much money he's getting paid. It would take a lot for me to walk away from $1.2 million, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So they're paying him 1.2 just to come just to come eat the hot dog, be in the contest? Or?
I think it was a multi-year deal for him to be in the contest. So it wasn't just one-time deal. Let me see, because it was all over the news earlier today, and I have to, let me find it real quick. Okay, so yeah, Joey Chestnut out of the 2024 Nathan's hot dog eating contest in a beef over vegan franks. So he's the perennial winner, right? And he has Impossible Foods, which recently launched a vegan frankfurter and pot from plants. He is the scene time winner every year since 2016, 76 hot dogs and what? He was expected to take again this year, but he's not. Major League, you're right, it is its own league. Major League Eating. It's MILE, or MLE, excuse me, which Nathan sanctions to run the event, said the organization bent over backwards to meet his various demands. They even agreed to let him participate in a rival Labor Day dog eating fest to be taped for TV as long as no hot dog brand was mentioned. So it wasn't going to be a Nathan's one, but they could do that. Yeah. A source said Chestnut was paid $200,000 to appear in Nathan's contest last year and was offered $1.2 million 4-year contract going forward.
Yeah, why is he?
It's not bad. That's more. That's almost $250 a year to be in the contest.
Yeah,
$250 a year to fucking eat hot dogs.
Right, that's just all you got to do. One contest. I could live off
one
$250.
Yes, you could. So could I. That would be very nice. That's okay. So he's the Michael Jordan of competitive eating.
Yeah, no shit.
But imagine if Michael Jordan said to Nike, I love being the face of Nike, but I want to do commercials for Adidas too. And Chestnut's out. How wild is this?
Yeah,
So-
but what are they offering him? Because
Well,
I don't think
that I don't know.
Those fake meat companies are
Okay.
not swimming in cash. man.
I don't know if they are or they aren't. That's a good point. And I don't know where the marketing's coming from for that. I just saw an article today that said, while experts extol the health and environmental benefits of a diet free of animal products, new research suggests that consuming ultra-processed vegan food can increase the risk of heart death. That's what it says there. Now, I want to call, I'm going to call this woman. Her name is Sam. And Sam has nutrition, bodybuilder, and knows this stuff inside and out.
Okay.
All right.
See
So
what she says.
we'll call Sam and see what Sam says here. Give me one. I'm all discombobulated because nothing's working again. This is why I don't. This is why I always liked radio, because other people handled the heavy lifting of the tech shit. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. Here we go. Let's see. I just told her I was going to be calling.
Hello.
Hello, Sam. How are you?
Lovely. How are you?
Well, we were just talking about our friend Joey Chestnut and the fact that, well, first I should say that Sam is an owner of a franchise, Project Lean Nation, which does a lot of meal planning and meal prep and is a really great way for people to get into a better lifestyle. Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely.
And Sam is also, if you follow her on Instagram, she is just ripping it up at the gym all the time.
Trying to right now.
Well, Sam is, that's true. Sam is pregnant, but she could probably still deadlift more than I could even try.
Yeah, right.
Not pregnant.
Exactly.
And I may look more pregnant if I did that.
You and me.
Oh, God.
But okay, so this Joey Chestnut thing is sort of interesting because we were just talking about it. He was offered $1.2 million to come back for 4 years. So that's like $250,000 or right around a little over $200,000 a year.
300?
2,300?
No, 300.
Yeah.
1.2.
Oh, yeah. You're right. 300,000. See, this is why I did this for a
Right, he
living.
does the math.
Exactly. This is why I do this. I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't get the technology to work tonight. I can't get anything. But this stuff, these impossible meats and things, I don't think they're that. I read that they're not that good for you. I haven't talked to someone with a little more knowledge, but I suspect you have it in terms of the knowledge. And what do you think of these impossible meats?
Well, it's a bunch of bullshit in a casing. So I'm in a casing. It's a bunch of bullshit in a casing. So the impossible meats, the burger patties and the dogs or whatever the hell you want to call them, it's all highly processed soy. So they're full of soy. And if you even pull up the ingredient list of anything in Impossible Burger, it's stuff that people just shouldn't be ingesting.
Gotcha.
There's no such thing as good and bad. But we go, through this thing. Like I had a woman come in our store last week and she was legit mad at us because we sold meat in our store. And she was a vegetarian, but, I spoke to my friend Laura, who's a registered dietitian, and she goes, some of the most unhealthy people that she works with are vegans and vegetarians.
Some of the fattest people I've ever known were the ones who wouldn't eat meat.
Plant-based.
I will never forget. Now I have to be careful because my sister has been vegan since she was 9 years old. She says it wasn't, but our mother just couldn't cook. So, and it was.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's a whole different story.
No, I just tell you this: it was like overboiled hot dogs, like that just sat in the water and split open, and sat in that slimy water. You would get that with runny macaroni and cheese. And my sister
I've had it once or twice.
Yeah, my sister was so grossed out. I think that she just went in the opposite direction. Now she stayed with that to the end, but I've known other people who. It's a lot of, because you're eating a lot of, chips and macaroni and cheese and cheeses and things like that. And most of these people aren't really disciplined. And I think, honestly, are fooled into the fact that, I'm eating healthy. I'm vegetarian. It doesn't mean you're eating vegetables, asshole. It really does.
Well, yeah. And that's the thing. It's like you see a really skinny person who's plant-based, and then you see a person that's 200-300 pounds eating plant-based. because they're ingesting so many carbs.
Right.
And then, so it's the source, getting the source of protein, and that's what I spoke to Laura about. And she's like, vegans and vegetarians, the only good source of protein is tofu or tempeh. And then you have the other side of plant-based who are eating pastas and chips and all this bullshit cookies and stuff. And then they're like, oh, I'm super healthy. And it's like, no, you're 300 pounds with heart disease. Like, what's healthy about that?
Well, here's the thing is, it's funny because we're living longer, but this may not be a name Sam, but I bet you do, Greg. Jim Fixx. Do you remember a guy named Jim Fixx?
Sure.
And what was Jim Fixx known for?
He was a runner.
He was a runner.
Right.
And what happened with Jim Fixx?
He died of a heart attack.
He died of a heart attack while running.
I don't run.
Which I should
I don't run.
Come on. I don't think it has. I think his diet was bad, or it was high cholesterol, and we're in a time where, look, you get into that heart attack age, but nowadays we'll probably live longer than at least previous generations because of things like colorectal screenings and heart disease and cholesterol checks and all this stuff that we've really learned about to keep this machine running. But it's also what you're putting into it.
Yeah.
And I think this stuff, you say the soy, and I always thought soy for men, not a particularly good thing to be ingesting. At least not a lot.
I mean, if you you ingest too much of it and men can grow tips. Yeah. And that's just the truth.
Yeah.
But it's, there's a good source of soy, and then there's the bad source of soy, which is in the Impossible meats. It's just so highly processed, and then they have thickeners and other chemicals to bind it together. And it is probably the worst thing it's one of the worst things you can put in your body. But I mean, we put bad shit in our body every day. So
we do. I mean, that was always my look. I think people would say to me about the vaccine, and I go, well, I put a lot of shit in my body, but I think that became I don't want to be told what I have to do and don't have to do. Right? That was what people's real issue with that. Now with this though, I think people are looking at it as, well, it's a great alternative. It's better for the environment. I'm not, if we have less cows, it's less methane. We're not putting holes in the ozone layer. I have no idea. I don't know.
There's so many things that I don't know about anymore, Bill.
Well, so many things I don't either. And I'll just say this. I grew up in a very rural area, and we used to run through cow fields, and we would take the dried cow shit. It was like
throw it at each other.
And we would whip it at each other. Oh, yeah, you grew up in a rural area, too.
Yeah, I grew up in sauerkraut capital.
Yes, that's right.
Surrounded by cornfields, cabbage, and cows.
That was it. And we used to take it and whip. And by the way, will you tell me this, because nobody agrees with me? I do not believe you can actually cow tip. I've never. Do you know someone who did? I've known people who've attempted. I don't know anybody who did it.
You have to get quite a few people on the one side of the cow, and you have to get a cow that doesn't move.
Yeah.
And it works. I mean, I grew up next to a dairy farm, and we used to go over and tip the cows with the owner's son.
Okay.
With the truck.
The owner's son.
Oh, son.
Yeah, because I could never. I remember seeing things and hearing things, but I'm thinking this is a myth. I don't know anybody who could do it.
You can do it. You have to get enough people on the one side of the cow.
Do they die when they fall over?
No.
They could crack a rib, though,
it's
right?
It's like a freaking fainting goat.
Now that I have seen. I have seen the fainting goat.
I can't wait. I will own one of those one of these days.
The fainting goat?
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Why are you going to own a fainting goat, Sam?
Because I just want to wake up every morning and scream at it and watch what it does.
You know what? That may
you
actually
have some fun on edibles.
Yeah, right?
But that may be a way to eliminate stress for your day. You get it all out. The fainting goat. You start your day with a good laugh, and there you go. Yeah. What happens to the goat? It gets so nervous it just shuts down. It's kind of like when you get punched hard enough, your brain shuts down.
Those the slapping contests. You've seen those on Facebook right now, where they slap each other.
Yeah.
As hard as they can.
Yeah.
It's like that. You see these people stiffen up, and that's essentially what it is.
Ah. Yeah. Now I haven't seen the slapping contest with the hand. I've seen it with the
Oh. You should have a show on that.
No, I don't get that. I think there's a guy from around here who, I know there was somebody who was one of the best at arm wrestling in the country. And then I thought there was somebody who was a slap champion where they slap each other's face. It's like a real contest.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. They stand on each side of the table and they slap each other.
Yes, it's ridiculous. It looks like. Well, I'd rather give me something where I can like move and if I step into it, if I go there, if you fooled me and I step into it, then that's my fault. Yeah. But at least I had a chance. Yeah. This one I don't get.
I am not going to sign up and have somebody just smack me because I want to make it count if I hit you.
Thank you. That's it. I would agree with that as well. Is your husband still training people?
We're trying to convince him to go back to training people, but he's just enjoying being in the store at the moment and teaching people this side of health and wellness. So, and it's funny that you called me because like I said, we had that woman come in who was very plant-based, and, we do have quite a few people that come in and try to argue us on it. And like I said, there's no such thing as like good and bad. It's all in moderation. It all depends on how active you are, what you're putting in your body. And
well, give me the Project Lean Nation's sort of elevator pitch. Like it's pre-planned meals that I can buy, right? Yep. That has everything I'm going to need calorie wise. And if I follow that, the saying is abs are made in the kitchen.
Yeah. So you're realistically, like, if people are like, oh, I'm going to go on plant-based to lose weight, or I'm going to go on keto to lose weight, you're just cutting calories. You're in a calorie deficit. So what our meals do is we provide healthy, sustainable meals that, if you're looking to gain weight, we have an athlete portion size. We have a lifestyle portion size, which is for the average everyday person. And they average 450 calories. So if you're going to eat 3 of those a day, you're already in a calorie deficit because all of these meals are portioned out for you and all you have to do is put them in the microwave.
Right.
So what we do is we help guide people. We give them their calorie intake. We ask them what they're doing for activity. And if there's somebody that's very sedentary, we say, hey, we want you to get up and walk for 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
We had a girl sign up. She's a corrections officer. She, in her first month, just changing the way she ate, is down 20 pounds.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing for somebody that, is on her feet all day, but they're not moving as much in the jail. So for her to just change what she eats, you're already going to cut weight because you're in a calorie deficit.
Well, I did one of those diets that was designed for diabetics, and then they realized, it was so good. And I did lose 30 pounds in 40 days, but I was eating 500 calories a day or 550 calories a day.
It's just not sustainable.
No, it's not. And then what I will tell you, though, is that you lost a lot of like visceral fat, which is the fat that really slows down your organs and things like that. So I slept better. I felt better. I felt like I thought clearer, but who can really tell?
But what happened when you started putting food, like eating food?
I was able to keep it off for about 2 years. And then I started introducing my favorite beverages like Guinness.
The liquid.
Yeah, Guinness,
the liquid.
Guinness came back in big time. And, 8 or 9 of those and on a Saturday. But here was something that was interesting, though, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So I'm 6'1", 200 is probably a comfortable weight for me, right? I'm running way higher than that. I'm down about 10. I've been working at this. But I got down to 190, and I looked to some people like almost emaciated, like too thin. And so I'm at some event, and people are going, "Come on, man, you got to eat a sandwich. You got to eat a sandwich." So everybody's going out for a drink afterwards, and I was drinking like a glass of wine. That was sort of allowed. So I had a glass of wine, and they're all making fun of me. And I went home, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. And I look in the fridge, and there was a lot of grass-fed beef and all this stuff. So I grabbed strawberries and a jar of peanut butter, and I go to town with the peanut butter, dipping the strawberries in, and I'm having a fucking field day with this. And I woke up, Sam. Did you
feel like you were hungover?
Yes. Oh my God, that's exactly the word I was going to use. I had lines in my face, and it was funny because my mom had come up at the time I was married. My wife was out of town. My mom came up to watch the kids, and the next morning she goes, "Oh my God, what happened to you?" I'm like, "What?" I mean,
You're on an all-night bender.
Yeah, it's what it
You're
looked
just
like.
making out with a jar of peanut butter.
I was making out with a jar of peanut butter. And it's the sugar, right? I hadn't had sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do a program called 75 Hard, and I think we talked about it a while ago when I was back in the office with you guys. And it's 2 workouts a day. It's following a diet, no alcohol, no cheat meal, so essentially no sugar. Other than fruits and no processed sugar.
Yeah,
so
we call that boring.
I have a big sweet tooth, and the day 76, I was like, I'm going ham. I want donuts and I want cookies. And the next day I woke up and I was like, holy shit, did I go out drinking? Because it's just a large amount of sugar at once. And I was bloated. It was bad.
So
it happens.
It was interesting to me from that diet. I realized, and this will go back to the Impossible meat, I think, in a way. We really poison ourselves with what we eat.
Oh yeah.
But, and strictly from a lack of knowledge. Like what's easy and convenient is not good.
And it's like growing up, we ate the boiled Frank's Ballpark. Yeah. Ballpark Franks, whatever they were called, and the mac and cheese, Kraft, and now it's like they have all these organic box macaroni and cheese. I'm like, okay, what the fuck's organic about it? It's still powdered cheese that you have to put milk and butter into.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just, at this point I do eat healthier, and I do try to get my son to eat healthier. And my husband is very good at eating healthy. Like the man just came home with a salad bowl or mixing bowl full of frozen vegetables and a whole bag of salad. Yeah. And that's just like what he'll eat.
Yeah. But that's why he gets hit
so
on.
Much shit into it. Yeah.
That's why he gets hit on when you're across from the bar. You get to watch him get hit on by the others.
Call him a Greek god.
He is. He's like
a Greek.
He does.
He told me he's not getting fat this pregnancy. So the last pregnancy, he gained some weight. So he goes, Shamu, it's all you. He goes, I ain't getting fat this time.
Wow. This will be your second child. And I don't know. Usually that wouldn't fly. Shamu, calling your pregnant wife.
He called me Shamu through the first pregnancy, and we have a great joking relationship. So he busts my balls, I bust his. But we were in Wegmans a couple weeks ago. I picked something off the shelf, and he goes, "No way, Shamu!" And this older lady in the aisle next to us was mortified.
I'm sure.
She was so pissed. She goes, "What did you just call her?" I go, "Ma'am, it's fine."
Mind your own business, bitch.
Where I should have just started crying because he abuses me at home.
Oh my God! They would have had him arrested.
They would have had security come.
That's wild. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that I wasn't too far off the mark on the Impossible Joey Chestnut thing. Obviously, for Joey, it's a bank account issue, and it's not an Impossible issue.
Does he have to eat the Impossible burger like dogs, or is he eating just the normal ass and lips mystery meat?
He won't. Yeah, ass and lips mystery meat. That was usually Friday night in college. I don't.
Title of your sex tape.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. Apparently, he signed a deal with this other company, so I don't think he can be endorsing any other hot dog, which then would be Nathan's. If it was not, if the other hot dog wasn't named, I'm sure he could be part of something, but. I don't know what it's not disclosing what he's getting from Impossible. It's just saying what Nathan's was offering and that he's not going to be in it this year.
No, he should not. Nope. It's a lot of money though.
I mean, it is.
What would happen to one quick question?
Yeah, sure.
What would happen to a guy that's used to eating 70 beef franks in a 5-minute period, and then if he switches to eating 70 Impossible franks in a 5-minute period, what effect does that have on his body?
He might shit his brains out. I don't know. He might be on the toilet for a couple days, but
he's gonna have a great tube steak.
I mean, I can't imagine what the hot dogs do to his body, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's very thin.
Yeah, that's weird.
But you got to think those guys only eat that crap. Like they're only eating, they're eating a large amount of calories in a day, but I don't know how active he is. I don't know what he's doing for training, so if they're only eating 70 hot dogs, that's probably one of the only things they're eating in a day, or they're going hours later and they're bulimic and they're throwing it up. Like, I have no idea.
Right.
I don't know how this sport works.
Yeah, I don't either. It looked like they probably do that day, keep it down, and then may not eat. I don't know. I'm sure there's a strategy behind it somewhere along the line. Sam?
I wouldn't be eating for days after.
Yeah, me neither. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Would love to have you back in someday as the pregnancy progresses and we get to see. I was going to say Shamu, but that doesn't feel appropriate. So. I will not say that, although I just did. But, Project Lean Nation, check it out. The store in Canandaigua. There's a couple throughout the greater Rochester area, but if you want the best service, you got to go to Canandaigua.
You're the best.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too. There she goes. So there it is. This is you're thinking you're impossible stuff. I don't know that it's that much better, if at all.
I'm with you.
That's all.
I was never a big fan.
We'll take a moment. I'm going to drop in. I did a one-on-one with Danielle from Openly Committed, and it's an interesting conversation. But I will say this, Greg. I did not ask, but only because I assumed that, and I guess it was sort of a miss in an interview, right? But to me, it felt like a base question to talk about. So, do you have sex with these other people, and do you use protection? And I'm like, I know the answer to this. I think we all do. Yes, they're probably having sex with somebody else. Yep. That's what open it would be. And then the other part is, if they choose to use protection or not, well, it's none of your business. You're not the one getting into bed with them again, right? So I didn't ask that. What I did ask...
For now, anyway.
I did ask about... nasty comments that she gets on TikTok from people, and how a family member outed her to her parents about being in an open marriage. Yeah, and how that all went down. That to me is way more interesting. So we'll get into that next. But first, Iron Smoke Distillery reminds you that Father's Day is just days away. Give your dad a gift he's truly going to savor with Iron Smoke Distillery's handcrafted spirits. Each bottle is a testament to artistry and dedication, perfect for whiskey connoisseurs and beginners alike. You'll discover the rich flavors together with your dad and create unforgettable memories, lots of laughs over a glass of Iron Smoke whiskey. You can even schedule a tour to see where the magic happens, and you do that by emailing Scully through ironsmokedistillery.com. And you got to come out for the fun tonight. Mesh is going to be rocking the house with a mix of alternative and classic rock starting at 7:30. And then tomorrow night, Thursday, June 13th, the living room sessions with my friend Phelan behind the drum kit. Enjoy great entertainment, craft cocktails, and Father's Day gifts bottled and ready to go. Iron Smoke Distillery in Fairport, New York, where every sip tells a story, don't it? That's not the way the song goes? I thought it was something like that. Visit ironsmokedistillery.com today.
Mac of all trades. The name says it all. 585-202-9218 and macofalltrades.net.
Leo's. I was just over there talking to the owner, Patrick Bernunzio, and every time I'm at Leo's, I have to get the Cuban sandwich. Have you had their Cuban sandwich? Oh, my friends, please. With the pickles and the cheese and the shaved beef, it's so good. It's a panini. You got to go in there and try it. Tell them you heard about the Cuban on Billified, and you need to have it. You got to get that in your mouth. It is so I can eat that every day and never get sick of it. And, of course, Leo's has everything. For your sweet tooth, they've got great fruits, salads, chips, prepared dinners. Yeah, why heat up the kitchen when you've got Leo's right there? They're open every day on Dispatch Drive in East Rochester. Leo's. What's the best thing about Leo's? Say it with me. Everything. I found Danielle on TikTok, and I don't even know how. And then I feel like a creep. Like I think it came up in my For You, but I don't even know how. And I must have something for redheads because I was like, oh, here's a pretty redhead, green eyes. All right, I'll watch this, which is terrible.
You're not the only one.
And then I started hearing about Openly Committed, and I go, what is this? And you talk about being in an open relationship, but you have a family, you have children. I think you just did a whole thing at Disney. I watched you do all these videos at Disney, and you were just talking about just regular life stuff. You've even talked so much about where you and your husband have, and obviously if you're going to do this lifestyle, you have to communicate a lot. but you talked about at times, I think he asked you to be monogamous for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And how does, I guess, how does all that work? Here's the thing that I'm always fascinated with, and I think about this with everything, and please don't take this the wrong way. But even with crime, when I see somebody who goes, I go, how did they get that other person to agree to do you know what I'm saying? Like I used to say that with the Menendez brothers, because I have sons. I go, how did one go to the other? And the other guy goes, no, not a good idea. No, that's not a good idea at all. We shouldn't do this. And I think that with everything. And I go, how does this come up in a marriage between two people who probably started out monogamous, I would assume?
All right, I'm not sure how I feel about us comparing non-monogamy to committing a crime. But you know what? If we're gonna compare it to a crime, then I am an equal partner. If anything, I think that sometimes, like, I'm the strategic planner. You know, he's driving the getaway car, and I'm really figuring out the robbery. Let's not compare non-monogamy to a crime, shall we?
We will not. And I didn't. And I see. That's why I said don't take this the wrong way. But I was just curious as to how did two people. Like, how do you get somebody to do this?
Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, my husband, and I get this all the time as a comment on TikTok especially, but my husband he brought up the idea of non-monogamy, but it was never an ultimatum. It was something that he and I figured out together. So,
oh no, you
brought
froze.
Up this idea.
Hang on, you froze for a second.
Hey,
but
maybe we should.
That's okay. You froze for just a second. I just have to say this. Why am I not surprised the guy was the one who approached this idea?
I think that that's changing significantly. I think actually the more people I speak to, it's women that are bringing it up more so than men. But going back to, he brought up the idea and it was something we explored together. So we had just started dating. This was 14 years ago.
Okay.
We had been dating for just a couple of months and my husband and I had instant chemistry. I mean, it could be a meet cute out of a rom-com. And from the moment we met, we wanted to figure out how do we make a relationship work forever. And I think that he and I had both seen affairs decimate relationships, decimate family members. And when we started, we were trying to figure out how do we affair-proof our relationship? How do we make sure that we don't have some grenade, some mistake that either of us could make that would ruin our family? And that was kind of how we started an open relationship. And we spent 2 years reading books and going to swingers clubs and having a threesome. And then I would kiss someone and he would kiss someone and I would go on a date and he would go on a date and we would talk about it all. And it took us 2 years to figure out what did we want for our relationship for us and nobody else.
Yeah.
And it turned into an open relationship.
Okay. So I was married and I'm picturing back to then. And if my wife at the time had come to me, now I'm not married now, so to your point, I don't know, but I would say, like, if she came to me and said I want to do this, it would make my sphincter tight, like I'd get all nervous inside, like it would make me uncomfortable. And I think that that's a probably a knee-jerk human reaction, but at the same time, because you almost would feel like, well, I'm not good enough. Is that okay? And so okay, I
mean, I think that feeling of that idea of not being good enough, it was my first reaction too when he brought up this idea. But at the same time, I mean, now I've been doing this for 14 years and now I take a step back and I say, first of all, dear feminism, no man, my value is not determined by being enough for a man.
Right.
So I think that that's the first thing. And there's a lot of ways to get fulfillment and our needs and desires and wants met outside of our relationship. I have a question for you, Bill.
Yes.
All right, with your ex-wife, if a guy was flirting with her and found her super sexy and super attractive, would you feel jealous or would you feel proud?
That's depends on. I think I probably see. It's hard for me now because I've been out of the relationship for 5 years. So my first answer to you would be I'd be like, hey man, take her. Because I can see down the road how terrible is that. I'm kidding. I am kidding. I don't know. It depends because I have walked into a situation where I got annoyed. Where some guy was draped all over and stuff. That annoyed me. But let's say I was with someone today and someone was flirting with them. I think I would be proud, but I would be proud because I think I would believe she was coming home with me and only me.
With you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there's a fine line, though, between kind of jealousy and getting a little bit turned on?
Yes. I think there is a fine line. So then how does it work now? Because let's say, I mean, let's say you get all dressed up and you're going out with somebody else. I don't know. I'd have to be in the other room when you left. I couldn't look at it. I'd be like, God dang, what, really?
Are you kidding me? My husband gives me some of the best advice. He's like, honey, don't wear those jeans. Your ass looks way better in the other pair.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
mean, and and people are different. I've spoken to, I think since starting the TikTok, which I started 2 years ago, almost to the day, 2 years ago, I have spoken to hundreds of people and couples and open relationships, and everyone is very, very different.
Sure.
And my husband doesn't. There are certain men out there in the world that get really excited about their wife or their woman being with someone else. There are plenty, and it goes both ways, both genders.
Okay.
For my husband, that's not part of our open relationship, but he genuinely wants me to be happy and have fun. And on the condition that I have a lot of respect for our marriage, that I am communicating transparently, and that I'm being honest, that we're both, have this transparency and honesty in our relationship, and our relationship is really strong. I feel like when we have experiences and romance outside of our marriage, it gives us both energy. It gives us both joy.
Okay.
And we kind of get to bring that back into our lives.
What?
It's pretty special.
Can I ask you something a little more personal? What do you do? Only because here's why. What really struck me with your TikToks is how good you are on camera, how articulate you are in terms, and that sounds, I don't mean like mushmouth mumbling. I mean articulate in expressing all these points. And I got to think, in the world we live in today, where we have keyboard warriors everywhere, that people are not very kind. I have to think
They're
that
not.
Yes. So, but there's that pretty smile. And I just wonder, like, how do you wear all that? And it's very easy to say what other people's opinion of me is none of my business, right? It's none of my business. However, when it's coming right to your pocket, so to speak, on your TikTok page, that's got to be tough. And to me, I go, boy, this is someone who's pretty brave to put it all out there. Like
well, thank you. It affects me. I definitely will take breaks. I'll take a week or two breaks if I've gotten a lot of hate. I've definitely gotten a ton of hate. Oh, what's really hard is sometimes like a right-wing church gets a hold of a video and then it's all hell breaks loose.
So that's an interesting thing with the right-wing church, because I'm going, you know what? How many times have we heard the person who would, and I always say they're overcompensating when they rail against, I don't know if you call it an alternative, but gay lifestyles or whatever. And then we find out later on that the guy was in the bathroom trying to pick somebody up in an airport in Minneapolis, right? And he's this right-wing conservative. So what are they doing? How are you even coming up in their feed to begin with? What are they, you know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, how do I come up with their feeds? I think, and one of the things we just kind of have to recognize is happening in the world, polarizing content is what goes viral.
Oh, sure.
When one of my videos goes viral, and I think I've had like 15 videos over a couple million views. I think, so I've had quite a few videos go viral. And the theme that I see is that when one of my videos goes viral, it is because it has stimulated a black and white, deeply polarizing conversation. And the angrier that people get in the comments, the angrier the other side gets in the comments, and my video blows up. And the first thing to answer your question, like, how do I deal with that? I think the first thing that I do is I recognize that polarizing content is what goes viral.
Okay.
And to just, let it do its thing.
Right.
I think the second thing is I really recognize that when people are commenting and they are seeing my content, what they see has the way they react, has much more to do with them than it does with me. People are reacting to 30 to 60 seconds of me and my life. And, they are basing that off of their own experiences. And maybe they were cheated on. Maybe they saw an affair. Maybe they just deeply are monogamous, and this does not mix with their beliefs. And that is okay.
Right.
And I think that's kind of the second thing. And the third is, I don't know if there is a third. I think those are my two.
All right, so let's go back to a couple different things, because you are married and you have children, and I would assume you keep this away from the kids.
I keep the social media away from the kids. So, oh, you mean my open relationship? Yeah. So, I think my kids are ages 10. My daughter's about to turn 7. We have started to talk about this a little bit with my son.
Really?
Not my daughter. I think that he felt age appropriate. It felt like it was kind of the right time to sort of bring up a lot of these ideas. And honestly, a lot of it had to do a little bit with LGBTQ+. We were talking, my son, he was born and raised in the Bay Area in California. We've recently moved to Western North Carolina. He has 2 friends, both of whom have same-sex parents.
Okay.
And, it never occurred to him, God bless 10-year-olds, it never occurred to him that a man wouldn't be able to marry a man and a woman wouldn't be able to marry a woman.
Yeah.
He grew up thinking that absolutely that's allowed. If someone loves someone, they get to love someone else. And he actually asked us one day, he's like, what happens when someone loves 2 people? And, we kind of had a conversation around how that would work. So I like to think that we are treading lightly on introducing this concept to our kids. And it has nothing to do with us and our relationship. We obviously have a lot of pride and thought process that has gone into our relationship that we feel really confident in, that we have no problem explaining to our son. However, our son exists in the world today, and we're much more worried about what he'll hear from his friends or his friends' parents or that kind of thing.
As they get older.
Yeah, I think our kids needs to be of a certain age where he can
how would
think for
people
himself and
know?
stuff.
I couldn't look at you and go, oh, she's obviously in an open relationship. I would have no idea. So how?
Right? I'm like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
I don't know. I don't even mean you, but I mean anyone. I wouldn't be able to go, oh yeah. So, how do you find people to go on dates with then?
Oh, that's hard.
It is.
It is really difficult. I'm not going to lie. It takes finding kind of your community, sort of friends of friends. Dating apps, there's quite a few dating apps that are dedicated to non-monogamy at this point.
Okay.
And I believe, I don't know which one it is, but there are a couple of dating apps that you can actually set your in a non-monogamous or open or polyamorous relationship.
So there's a lot.
And it's becoming... It's 4 to 5% of the population of the U.S. couples consider themselves in some type of consensual non-monogamy, whether that's swinging or it's just open or whether it's a triad or whether it's polyamory.
Okay, I was going to say, or one partner's not telling the other, and that's so
the rates of non-consensual non-monogamy, so cheating, are still depending on the state, between 30 and 60%. I mean, people cheat.
Yeah, they do. So have you ever, here's a funny one. So your husband goes and dates people as well then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And has he ever shown you pictures of people on date? Do you ever do that? Go, what do you think of this guy? What do you think of this girl? What do you think?
Have I? Oh,
or have would you ever send? Yeah. Would you say to him, what were you thinking? I didn't know.
My husband's got pretty good taste in women.
Okay.
Right. Myself included. Have I seen that? So I don't think when it comes to his dating apps, I've seen a girl beforehand. I don't think so. I did show him a picture once of a guy and be like, what do you think? That's a different funny story. But I have met a couple of the women that he's dated.
You have?
I have. Yeah.
And does that make you jealous at all in that moment?
For different reasons than you would think.
Okay.
I think early on in our relationship. So take a step back from non-monogamy, right?
Yep.
And you just think about a relationship that has been together for 14 years. In the beginning of that relationship, the phases, you were in your honeymoon phase and everything was perfect and roses, and you would get jealous of ex-girlfriends because you'd never met them. And, I think that that's pretty common phases in the early phase of a relationship. My husband and I have been together for 14 years. We have been through multiple moves, some of them being across the continent, some being across the Atlantic. We've had 2 kids together. We have been through the death of a parent. We have been through huge career ups and downs. Sometimes I think that those are the big things. Those are the big things that matter in our relationship. And I think that when, my husband dates a beautiful woman, if she's bringing a whole bunch of joy and energy into his life, that sometimes I may or may not be able to provide, then that's great. That gives him more in his life. In the same way for me.
I have a funny feeling that there's a woman listening right now that goes, I could use a night off.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Which sounds funny, but here's
this is why I'm in it. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off really quick
sure.
on this ride.
Yep.
This is the thing that I currently love about being in an open relationship. I love my kids to death. I feel so fortunate to be their mom. I love my husband, but our lives are really entangled. We have financial obligations. I cannot imagine a date that we've had that we didn't at some point in time talk about logistics and our savings goals and career kids college funds and career job. I mean, our lives are so deeply entangled that when I get to go on a date with another guy, there's none of that. We're talking about books and movies and trips and travels. I mean, it is a mental vacation that is just really wonderful and invigorating. And I mean, in some ways I get to be like the non-mom, like hot woman version of myself that as much as I try, it's a little harder to be with your husband. Like you watch me in childbirth.
All right. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. What you just said makes a lot of sense. But what happens if you fall in love with someone else? Is that possible?
Yeah, I have fallen in love.
You have.
Love's a beautiful thing.
Sure it is. I agree.
I mean,
but does that make it hard
in your life, Bill?
How many?
Like, if you were to use the word love broadly, how many people do you love in your life?
Well, it depends, right? I guess there would be different kinds of love. I too have children. And then both my parents are still alive. I have siblings, and then there are others, right? Then there are others. Yeah. Sure. So how does that work? But if you have such a deep relationship with your husband, where you've gone through things that have really connected the two of you bonded. But like you said, how does that play with someone else? Could you wind up with someone else, or is it always sort of just more surface and everybody kind of knows this is just sort of a fun release? I don't know if that's a fair thing to say or not. I don't want to cheapen it.
I don't know if you can control these things.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think monogamy protects people from their partner falling in love with someone else. But I do think that the love that I have felt for the other people that I've fallen in love with is different. Yeah. It's not the same love that I have for my husband. Same way, the love that I have for my kids is different than the love that I have for my parents. I would say I love my best friend, my sister. I think that when I've fallen in love with other guys, I don't think it's fair to say that it was more superficial, but it was different. Yeah. I think the best way to describe it was different.
Do you think it ever helps you fall deeper in love with your husband in a way, in a sense? Do you have a greater appreciation and love for him after?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can see that. And I can't even articulate it properly, but I could see where that would totally be the thing. Like, I'm so glad I chose, we chose each other for this. And thank you for letting me, I don't know, sample the smorgasbord of life that's out there, I guess, a little bit. I don't know.
Smorgasbord of life.
I don't know. I'm just,
I love it.
I'm a poet. I'm a poet. I don't know if you knew that as well.
It could be at least you picked a good word. You didn't use like buffet.
Yeah, that's a little nasty. Buffets, I always think of sneeze guards and fat people. It's just not my thing with that. So all of this for you has played out on TikTok, and people can go watch the series of them. It's at Openly Committed, right?
Yep, Danielle at Openly Committed.
Danielle at Openly Committed. And you'll find it on TikTok. And it's really an interesting story. I think the part that if you don't mind me asking about, is sort of your family. And as you talk about the people you love, you have, was it your mom or somebody? Somebody outed you sort of, or threatened to out you, or, how horrible is that? Why would you weaponize? Why is it any of their business?
Yeah, people go through different things. I had a family member who, this person was dating someone that no one in the family approved of.
Oh, okay.
And this person also knew that I was in an open marriage and, didn't feel like, and I think one of the things that happened is my parents said to this person, oh, look at Danielle and Rich's marriage. It's just so wonderful. It's fantastic. And then I think in their mind, they were fuming.
Sure.
It's like, you don't know what's really going on. And I think that was really frustrating for this person. My husband and I ended up sitting down with my parents and telling them about our open relationship probably a little sooner than I would have liked to, than I would have personally been ready. And it was more that we were kind of going through a bit of a transition phase in our open relationship. But at the same time, we had been open for almost 8 years at this point. So the tough questions I was able to answer. And going back to the TikTok comments, I mean, when you get hard questions on TikTok, they're strangers,
right.
And
Yes.
I think so when strangers ask me like, oh, what does this mean for your kids? You're ruining your children's lives. He doesn't really love you. This isn't commitment. When you're hearing it from strangers on the internet, it's one thing. When your parents ask you those things, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah,
it's really hard. And I was lucky that I could answer a lot of those at that point in time.
Yeah, because it's like the analogy. If I called you up and said, I'm never going to speak to you again, you don't know me, you wouldn't care. But if someone you loved said that to you, you'd be heartbroken or you'd be very distressed about it. And when it's your parents, what are we always trying to get our parents' approval in some way? So I thought that was, to me, I was like, wow, that TikTok is the one that sucked me in. I don't know if that was the first one I saw. It was the one that got me because I went, okay, this is a real life situation, and how, we hear about these things and people fantasize maybe a little bit, but there's a real life side to it, and you're going to be judged. And you're going to be judged by those who you may hold in the highest esteem yourself. And no one wants to have their parents sort of judge you. So how did that, obviously it went okay.
How are we going to find okay? My parents live in small town Texas. My mother is deeply religious.
Yeah.
And I got to give my mother credit. She's incredible. An incredible woman. When we first told my parents that my husband and I were in an open relationship, it was really tough for them. They asked a lot of questions. They asked a lot of really hard questions. And then they kind of said, we don't want to hear about this ever again. And so for a couple of years, we didn't talk about it.
Okay.
It was the white elephant. Is it a white elephant? It was the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And then I think when I started the TikTok a couple of years ago,
most elephants don't see color, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, multicolored. It's a rainbow. It's definitely a rainbow elephant. 100% it's a rainbow elephant. A couple of years ago when I started the TikTok, funny story, I had a family member find me on TikTok, loved absolutely all of my content, and gushed to my parents about how helpful my content had been for her and her husband. and this person is my parents' age.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, mom and dad were like, okay, it's not for us, but maybe it's not so bad either.
Oh, so that helped.
I think that helped. And I think time really is the thing, because my parents have seen how happy my husband and I are, how great our kids are.
All right.
And that's really what proves it.
You never answered a question earlier. And
sure.
When I said, what do you do? Are you a therapist of some kind?
No,
I
am not a therapist. I am an aspiring author. So 2 years ago, I wrote my first book. Yep. I shopped it around to every agent I could find. I got zero interest. And I think I get to announce this yet. I have my first book coming out. So
you do?
I'm really excited. Yeah.
Oh.
It's still a long ways away. It will come out hopefully February 2026. So it's still got a ways, but I've got my publishing deal and I get to say I'm an author now.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's
you.
really great. And then the TikTok stuff, I only bring this up because you said TikTok paid for this Disney trip.
It did.
And that's just from people watching your content. You've become that big on TikTok.
So I receive less, it kind of comes and goes. Yeah. So I definitely don't make a ton of money on TikTok. Okay. I think I make about $2,000 a month on TikTok at the moment. It's not huge.
Right.
And then I do other things. So on my website, I host events. I have a course that I've offered, which is called A Couple's Guide to Opening Up.
So how do people find that?
Yeah, it's all on my website. It's all linked in my TikTok.
It's all linked
TikTok and Instagram.
Okay, so people can find you on TikTok and Instagram.
Yep.
It's Danielle at Openly Committed, and then
at Openly Committed across the board on all my social media channels, and then it's opencommitment.com. And then I'm still kind of figuring out what is the most helpful to people. So I have like a book list and booklet recommendations, everything on different types of relationships to getting jealousy. I host an event usually around managing jealousy once a month. And it's just kind of a nice place for people to hang out and be like, oh my God, this made me so jealous when my partner did this. I share some of our stories more on Instagram stories. I share a lot more behind the scenes and what I'm working on Instagram stories. But to answer your question, so TikTok, I also I have 2 hair brands that sponsor me, which is still wild. Like now when people ask me, they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a hair model, obviously, because that's the best answer I've ever had in my entire life. I worked in marketing for 12 years before trying to become an author.
So what made you pick up the phone one day and go, I'm going to tell our story?
It's all my husband's fault. And he was originally in some of the videos. So again, going back to wanting to be an author, in my head, I was like, I really want to write a book. I have these ideas. I want to tell parts of our story. And I was like, I'm going to make a blog. I'm going to write a blog, honey. And he's like, what is this? Like 2008? Like, what are you doing? Go on TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, and it caught fire. Did you ever think it would be this big? Because I have to think, in addition to the negative comments, you got to get asked out. You got to be not proposed to, but people have to propose dates to you. Oh,
the number of sugar daddy requests I get is disgusting. And they're all bots. They're not real people.
I don't know. I'd be afraid to find out for real myself. I'm not so sure I want to see it.
That is a TikTok video I have not done yet. I have not had enough guts to respond and record the whole thing. Be like, oh, hey, handsome. What do you want me to call you?
Well, this has been a fascinating conversation for me. I would love to have you back sometime to do a follow-up. Yeah. I think the book thing is great. Congratulations on all that.
Thank you.
And please follow. I didn't know you were on Instagram as well, so I want to check that out, the behind-the-scenes stuff and all the helpful things you're doing for people. And look, I don't think you get a better affirmation than someone telling your parents who are your parents' age that you helped their marriage through your content. Right? That's the best sales you can get. That's it right there.
And that family member is, she and I become so close because of it. It just means the world to me.
Good. So. Well, very good. Well, thank you for
your
time.
Thank you so much, Bill. This has been fun.
Well, good. I'm glad. And I told you it wasn't, I just had I see this stuff and I go, boy, this is amazing. And usually there's even a woman who will join me on the podcast who I know what is good and be jealous that she wasn't here for this conversation. So I may have to have you back sometime because she's always intrigued by this sort of thing as well. And how does it work? And how do you keep the jealousy away and yet be able to still play and have that one person who's sort of your rock, I guess would be the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Danielle, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you. Red, White, and Brew. I've been telling you about it for a long time. It's a tap and tasting room that focuses on New York State wineries, distilleries, and breweries. It's at 147 State Street in downtown Rochester. If you haven't checked it out, this is the weekend to do it because on June 15th, they are having a silent disco. Tickets on sale at Red, White, and Brew Rock. That's Red, White, and Brew, ROC.com. Saturday, June 15th, beginning at 10 p.m., going to 1 a.m., 3 DJs, 2 locations, disco, house, pop music. It's all happening. Red, White, and Brew and the U Gallery, 147 State Street in downtown Rochester, and more at redwhiteandbrewrock.com.
Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 96 in Victor. And online at victorcdjr.com.
JoJo Bistro and Wine Bar is the perfect neighborhood hangout. Warm, inviting, and with a really big menu. And did you know they have 2 locations? The Village of Pittsford, which has been open for 21 years. And just a couple of years ago, they opened one in the Village of Webster. Great place for happy hour or dinner with the fam. Reservations recommended. Visit their website, restaurantjojo.com.
Spend my days with a woman kind, Smoke my stuff and drink all my life.
That's what happens when you're openly committed.
Made up my mind.
You lose all your stuff.
Star. Going to California with an aching in my heart.
I always, this is like maybe my favorite Zeppelin song.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Someone told me
Just like the acoustic. I always thought Jimmy Page played a really nice acoustic, right?
Man, it's so much deeper than Stairway to Heaven and
Yeah.
Dog and Rocket, you know.
Yeah. Well, it was all the radio-friendly stuff, right? That was the big thing. I had to do, I was never a big Zeppelin guy. I've come to appreciate it. I put Zeppelin, for me, is similar to the Grateful Dead. And I say it this way. Why I say that? You wouldn't associate the two together. They were jammed down my throat. When I was a kid, everybody listened to the fucking Grateful Dead. I couldn't get away from the Grateful Dead. It was Grateful Dead, Grateful Dead, Grateful Dead. And Bob Dylan, right? So I used to joke on the radio, Bob Dylan's overrated. People would go fucking insane. But I'm like, you don't understand. Like, it was like, you know, Bob Dylan was, hey, man, he was in Woodstock. Because the band was Bob Dylan and the band.
Right.
And they were such reverent. Like, there was such reverence for them. And they would be around. So when I started in radio, I was 19. They did something called Riverfest right along the Hudson River. And they used to have a mobile home that they would pull behind, and it was, you could broadcast. It looked like a jukebox, and in the center was like a broadcast thing, and they had some speakers and stuff. And so the band was coming in, and they were late to come. They were going to play this Riverfest, and then they were going to be interviewed on the radio. Whatever happened, they were running late, so the guy shift ends, and now I'm on, and I'm 19.
Yeah.
And they go, hey, the band's coming in. You got to, and I go, I'm not doing it. And they're like, come on. I go, I ain't doing it. Why? I go, look, I know who the band is. I'm familiar with who they are. I don't know enough. I can't do an interview with these guys. At 19, I'm going to sit across from Lee Von Helm and go, it's going to be the Chris Farley Saturday Night Live sketch. You want that on your fucking airwaves? Let me go. So somebody else came in. I absolutely refused. And I did it because I didn't want to embarrass myself, but I also did it out of respect for the band. I thought that this is going to be awful. You don't want to be interviewed by a 19-year-old kid who wasn't around for your biggest time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then when I say Zeppelin, I wound up doing like afternoon drive on a rock station, and I really just like talking. I didn't care about the music, and they made me do Get the Lead Out. Ugh. So it was night after night. But once I got deeper into Zeppelin, and they let me pick some of the stuff, I loved it when I got deeper into it. But again, it was one of these things where I'm like, all right, I could take a break from Zeppelin, like I could take a break from the Dead or Dylan, because, you know, for 10 years of my life, it was just jammed down my throat.
Yeah. I'd get on the hill with you about the Bob Dylan thing. I went to see him and Tom Petty in concert.
Oh, wow, who could you understand better?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Two mumbles. Yeah. And by the way,
to me, it was like one of those classic
the Traveling Wilburys. Love the Traveling Wilburys, and both those guys were in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I love that band, and I've come to appreciate Tom Petty more now that he's gone. I like some of his deeper stuff, and I really, really liked him. Okay. And he was very good friends with Gary Shandling, the comic.
Oh, really?
There's a great documentary, and since you're a comedy guy, you should check it out. It's called The Zen of Gary, and it's really about his whole life, and it just shows you this guy who you could probably relate to a lot, you know, worked so much that like his lawn was unkempt and everything was a mess, and he wound up dying of a heart attack at 66, but never had really stable relationships, loved boxing, opened his own boxing gym, and then lived next door to Tom Petty. And there's a whole scene where the two of them are in Petty's private studio shooting the shit and talking on this documentary.
Very cool.
It really is cool. And Bob Dylan, don't get me wrong. I mean, there are songs I love. I love Hurricane, about the boxer. I love the way he told his story. Yeah. Even when I watch some of the stuff, that, you know, everything that right now is getting all the, we're very into nostalgia these days. And the whole thing on We Are the World. And seeing Bob Dylan in there, you know, and trying to hit the notes. But even that, I kind of liked it. And I go, yeah, that was Dylan. And you, but it was just some of the others, you know, if I had the Tambourine Man and Blowing in the wind, blow it out your ass. You know what I mean? But there were some other songs I really did love.
I mean, there's no denying his,
amazing writing ability.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That and his whole, I mean, one of the best in rock history, but
sure.
Just, I could take him for 15 minutes at a time.
Well, it's funny because yes, and then I'll go see the Stones who are 80. But if Dylan were coming around, I'd go, I don't know. What else you got? Just so terrible. Yeah. It's a terrible thing.
Well, he moved less than Mick Jagger 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Yes, he did.
He still moved less than Mick Jagger.
Yeah, that may be part of his longevity. I don't really know. But I did like the Wallflowers. You remember his son's band?
Yep.
Jacob Dylan? I liked them. They had a couple, one or two hits I liked. Albums that I actually listened to the whole thing. I like some of the deeper stuff. You just looked up the woman I talked to, Openly Committed. And what did you think when you looked at this?
I was.
I love that you.
I really don't know what to say. I pictured someone a little bit hotter than that.
Okay. Well, see that. So I mean, it's very just look like a blended in
plain Jane.
Fairport. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'd see her at the the produce aisle at Wegmans,
and yet she's the one who's out there in the forefront doing her thing. I don't know that I could do that relationship. I think I'd be way too jealous, or it would just be weird, or
I just think it's weird.
Or
man.
I would also feel like, and I did say this to her, like I'm not enough. Right?
Yeah, unless the guy's going out and doing his own thing.
Well, he is. And she said, he brought it up. I go, of course, a guy's going to bring it up. She goes, yeah, but I think more and more women are now, too. And I go, I think most guys, if a woman goes, hey, why don't we explore an open relationship? I think your sphincter gets tight and you go, fuck, I'm not enough. Yeah, I mean, that's all I could think. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that's probly the first thing you think. Right. Like, why does she need that?
Why do you need that?
Then on the other side, you're like, fuck yeah.
It depends.
You're excited about it.
All right, I'll tell you a story. I know a guy in radio who had decided that they were going to try an open marriage, and he was swinging at everything and getting nothing. And his wife had a couple of dates, and he got nothing.
Yeah, that would be us. Man. That'd be me and my wife.
He was so pissed, and I think it ended shortly after that. The open marriage experiment didn't go very far. Because, he wasn't getting any takers.
What the heck?
I mean, man,
no fun.
He
no fair.
He was trying and trying and trying. And, once you're out of the game for a while.
I'd be lost out there. Man.
Well, I think this woman said there are dating apps and things.
For openly committed people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can go out and, And I think your spouse writes you a letter of recommendation.
Really?
No, could you imagine?
Yeah, that's the rule of the website. Your spouse has to write your profile
recommendation,
page.
Right? Well, I think that's always been a thing. Like some people were always saying, if your exes wrote your dating profile, what would they say? Kind of thing. What would they say? I don't really know. But it is weird because you said earlier the type of people that swing are what kind of people?
Ugly people.
Yeah, it is. And it reminded me.
I'm a nice guy. I don't like calling people ugly. Maybe less attractive people.
Yeah.
Maybe people that don't just go out to the club and pick up like that.
Right. There's so I don't know what's. It's funny because I hit Ryan Seacrest's story. I used to follow when I was in radio. We were working for the same company and we knew a lot of the same people. So I just wound up following him on social media. And today I see that probably on his show sometime this week, Lenny Kravitz is going to be on. Well, Lenny Kravitz was just in the news. Do you know why?
Probably a openly committed relationship.
No. Celibacy for 9 years.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And I go, only good-looking people can do that. Because, no, seriously, like if somebody who is like a big fat, swinger-looking type person that you're saying about, they came in and go, yeah, man, I've been celibate for 9 years. You go, no one wants to fuck you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you can tell me you're celibate, but nobody wants to fuck you. It's only pretty people that get to say that they've been celibate for 9 years because you can't imagine that nobody's trying to fuck this person. It's you Sal, that we're not believing.
Yep.
You worked in corporate, didn't you, for a while? Or you were in charge of stuff?
Yeah.
What was the rules about dating at work? Were there any dating rules at work?
Yeah, you couldn't date anybody that either was
like a direct report,
a report above you or a report below you, and then it was frowned upon to date in your core working community. You know what I mean? Just because the drama, but it wasn't outlawed or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
it wasn't against policy, but you definitely couldn't be with somebody that you answered to or that reported to you.
Which seems to be pretty typical.
Yeah. I mean, and you could disclose it. They would have these, what do you call them? I forget now. Man, I've been out of it only a few years.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. But you'd fill out a,
Oops, I fell in her vagina.
You basically just write it out and send it to loss prevention. Say, I'm banging Michelle in accounting. And then they'll tell you.
And they'll write back, oh, how good is it? On a scale of 1 to 9.
Is it true? How did you like it?
How did you like it? I only ask because in radio, it was very incestual. Everybody was pretty much banging everybody. And the sales people had bigger personalities. They were fun. They were attractive. There's more women than men. And so, as a radio personality, you get your big swinging dick microphone going and they sort of got the job too, which would be, you're out and this and that. It just was a kind of a lifestyle thing. So I married somebody who worked in radio, and I had dated prior to that people who worked in radio. But I bring this up because BP, the oil company, British Petroleum, had that big problem back in September where the CEO, who had been there for 4 years, I guess it was outed that he had a relationship with someone in the company. And before he became CEO, it was known, or at least rumored, that he was promoting women that he had relationships with, which is exactly why they don't want you doing this.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Right? It's a little favoritism.
Not cool, yeah.
So now, this one is a little strange. Because of that, BP has decided that you have 3 years to disclose any relationship you had with anybody at work or risk being fired. So what they're saying, like, they don't want any family, let's say it was a son-in-law, brother, that kind of stuff, would be nepotism, right? We would fall that under the nepotism stuff. And screwitism, where you're banging her, I guess. I don't know what it's called. But, so this guy, he was accused of all that stuff. But then, according to new thing, they're saying that you have, I think they said, 3 years to disclose. The former boss was accused of promoting women. Yep. He's December. To tighten the conduct rules because of his stuff, reportedly required the staff to disclose all sexual relationships and even friendships they had with colleagues within 3 years. You have 3 years to do it. So here's my thing. Like, how are they going to prove? So if I don't disclose and someone who worked under me, and I did have, let's say, a short little dalliance, nothing, maybe we were both single, went out, maybe there was travel involved, you're out, everybody goes to dinner, and the next thing you guys linger a little longer, and something happens, and I decide I'm not disclosing that because it was no big deal, nothing came of it, but she comes back and goes to them, by the way, and then goes, and I have pictures, and I have the napkin that he wrote his room number down on. What then? I mean, then you could definitely be fired.
Yeah.
I don't like this gotcha.
I don't think that's
I don't like the gotcha
policy,
world we live in.
I don't think that's a good thing by BP. I think they just need to set the policy to make it clear going forward.
Yeah, it was right here. It says, a representative for BT told Fortune magazine that on June 1st, the staff would be forced to disclose personal relationships whether or not they feel they represent a conflict of interest as part of the policy, going back 3 years. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean,
fully transparent. What if you forgot?
Well,
what if you got so drunk?
What if you're not a single dude? What if you are a married guy and you had a little little so-and-so while you're out on a business trip?
You were openly committed, but your wife didn't know you were openly committed.
Exactly. Then you got to put that in their document.
That's the thing.
That's
you can ruin people's you can really ruin people's lives financially and everything, right? Because if somebody hears that,
seems like a stretch, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it does seem like a stretch. I would say you're probably better. What do they say? Don't shit where you eat was the crude way of saying it. Don't put your pen in the company ink was the other one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Comedy, the world.
Comedy's probably. I mean, again, I got it made, man. I'm happily married, and I'm no saint by any stretch, but I have no desire to try to fucking hook up in the comedy world with anybody.
No, you don't. You don't want to.
Huh? I don't want to.
You definitely don't want to. No, because the other thing is like having that stability and that person and that. See, that was the thing that was weird with the conversation with Danielle was that she's saying things like we went through the death of an adult parent, like one of their parents. I don't know if it was hers or his. We went through that. We went through career changes, ups and downs. Those are all the things that you sort of become the foundation of your relationship, doesn't it? You've been married for 30 years. Yeah. That becomes sort of your story together. Nobody else shares those. That to me, when we talk intimacy, that shit to me is actually the real intimacy of life. Yeah, right. Anybody can fuck. But, to put it crassly, but the other stuff is the standing by somebody when they're really down or lifting them up or making sure that person's sick or whatever's going on. Right. Barbara at work has been driving me, gunning for my job, and I'm really stressed out, and you're helping sort of strategize. That's the intimacy on how to, bulletproof yourself at work. Then this other stuff. And I go, I don't know how you get that with someone else while you're with that person.
Unless you're just going with the cold-hearted sex on the outside.
Well, I mean, that could be it. They're just a raw dog. You're just an animal.
Just want to go.
Oh, my God. Put on a water buffalo cap and we're going to town, honey. But even there, think of this. Think of any women who have said, I was nervous to be naked in front of you. I was, you know what I mean? I feel like my body's flawed in some condition, and you're willing to just go hunt and peck for any hunt or peck.
I don't get it, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I can't. The swinging thing, I don't get.
I mean, in a single world, people are banging left and right. They're not that picky,
right?
Getting naked and fucking.
Yes, that's true.
You
go that way, but I just think that after a while, when you find that person, I don't know, it just seems weird. I don't know that I could even. I think I'd turn into a soy hot dog down there, and I wouldn't be able to perform
after Joey Chestnut gets it in the water.
Joey Chestnut's in the water, and I got my chestnuts, and nothing's working right, and I'm embarrassed. I go, there it goes. It's not working. We're not working. Because in my head, I'm thinking of her.
Right.
I'm not thinking of what's right on top of me.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, I know. That's it. Well, nice conversation. But BP, it's going to make you disclose. Hey, you don't want to work for BP if that's the thing.
Nah, I mean, probably they're not the only ones, but
I've never heard of going back 3 years.
Yeah, that's a stretch, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
An email circulated, BP said, intimate relationships at work, or face the door to avoid an embarrassing repeat of the CEO, prohibits employees, and we got that. 4,500 managers have been given 3 months. Oh, I thought it was 3 years. Have been given 3 months to report all intimate relationships they have engaged in the last 3 years. You've got 3 months. You got 90 days, motherfucker.
So this is managers, though. Not everybody in the
4,500 managers, right. Not everybody in the company.
Okay.
So 4,500 managers. You know what? I feel like somebody's sitting there writing a book going, I knew it.
Yeah, no
fucking
shit.
Knew it. I knew those two were fucking, and now I got proof.
I'd love to know how many of those 45 turn in like a list of 10.
Yes. What if you just made it up? I one time bought Sheila lunch just because we were standing in line, and I was just trying to be polite,
Right.
Could you make it up? Could you find the hottest person on your staff and go, yeah, banged her? 9 months ago. Or vice versa, female, you get a hot guy on your staff, right? Maybe, just for bragging rights. Because if you put it down and you don't tell that person you put it down, and it was a couple years ago, and you just make it up, you go, 2021, back in 2021, nailed him.
I did him, but then I told him that's not going to get you the job.
That's not going to get you.
That's not quite good enough. So it had nothing to do. No
I wonder if anybody will pad this to say they, just pad their body count. Just lie, but really hot people from BP. I don't know if there are hot people at BP. I'm just saying, you got to pick the hottest one on your staff and say you did it. All right, June 20th, we're going to be doing comedy at Remedy. It is at Finger Lakes Casino and Racetrack. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Come on down.
Get the weekend started
early. And Greg has been kind enough. He's going to headline the show. Dougie Phelps, myself. We'll do the podcast earlier that night there. There'll be drink specials. Come on in. It is open to the gaming floor, so we'll be competing with a couple of slot machines and things, but I think we're going to have a great time. It's a really nice room.
Nothing like comedy with the bling-bling in the background.
Nothing at all. Not at all. If you land your joke right, jackpot.
Right, exactly.
Jackpot. That's the way I look at it. But it'll be a lot of fun, and I hope to see everybody there. And Greg is very funny, and you will enjoy him. And certainly Doug has said that your headlining set just killed. So
I'm glad to hear.
We can't wait.
It was a good night.
June 20th. It'll be Thursday night, just a week from this Thursday, actually.
Oh, wow.
Man, I know. Time is flying along there. Flying along. Any other gigs you got before that?
I'm in a restaurant in Oswego next week.
Okay.
For the end.
Good warm-up.
And then the Italian Club in Geneva. Italian-American Club in Geneva.
Yeah, okay.
28th.
The 28th, so right after that.
Yep.
All right, good. For Greg Owens, I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you tomorrow.